Long before the flood arrived, Noah received instructions so detailed they resembled an engineering blueprint beyond imagination. The command was extraordinary. Build a vessel unlike anything humanity had ever seen before in the ancient world. At a time without modern tools, the project demanded knowledge that seemed centuries ahead of civilization. Most people imagined a simple boat, but the biblical dimensions reveal something astonishingly different and advanced. The structure would become one of the largest wooden vessels ever described in ancient historical records. Every measurement recorded in Genesis served a purpose that modern engineers still find remarkably practical today. The Ark's proportions created stability capable of surviving waves that would destroy ordinary vessels instantly. Its design prioritized survival, not speed, making it uniquely suited for an unprecedented global catastrophe. Before construction began, Noah first needed immense quantities of timber gathered from surrounding regions carefully. The amount of wood required would have transformed the landscape around the construction area completely. Thousands of individual components had to fit together precisely, despite the limitations of ancient technology. Unlike simple rafts, the Ark required sophisticated internal structures capable of distributing immense structural pressure. Deep inside the vessel, multiple levels would eventually support animals, supplies, and surviving families safely. The biblical description mentions rooms, suggesting a carefully organized layout rather than a single open space. Each compartment likely served a specialized function necessary for survival during many months at sea. Then comes a surprising detail many readers overlook completely when studying the Ark's construction narrative. The vessel included a window system designed to provide light while protecting occupants from danger. Ventilation would have been critical for maintaining healthy conditions among countless animals during extended confinement. Another remarkable feature was the roof, engineered to direct rainwater efficiently away from vulnerable sections. Every exterior surface required protection against moisture, capable of weakening wood over prolonged exposure periods. Genesis mentions a protective coating that transformed ordinary timber into a durable, waterproof structure entirely. This coating may have been among the most important technologies enabling the Ark's survival successfully. As construction advanced, the Ark gradually became impossible for surrounding communities to ignore any longer. Its unprecedented size challenged assumptions about what human effort could achieve before recorded history. The project likely required years of labor, planning, organization, and extraordinary persistence from everyone involved. Yet the greatest challenge was not construction itself, but preparing for what would eventually come. A vessel can be built with wood and tools, but survival required preparation beyond architecture alone. Food storage systems had to support both humans and animals for an unknown duration ahead. The logistics involved were staggering, resembling the preparation of an isolated floating civilization entirely alone. Then came a revelation, hidden within the dimensions themselves, that continues fascinating researchers even today. The proportions align closely with stability principles discovered independently by modern naval engineering centuries later. This unexpected convergence has fueled ongoing debates about the sophistication of the original design forever. What seemed impossible at first increasingly resembles a carefully engineered solution for an unimaginable disaster. As the final beams were secured, the vessel stood ready for history's most extraordinary test. Soon, events would begin unfolding that transformed this engineering marvel into humanity's last refuge alive. The story of construction was ending, but the story of survival was only beginning then. And the deeper we investigate its design, the more astonishing the Ark becomes even today. What happened next would reveal whether this ancient design could truly withstand the world's greatest flood. The world was about to witness a demonstration of engineering, faith, preparation, and survival unlike anything before. Everything Noah built was about to face the ultimate challenge against the most destructive waters imaginable. The completed Ark stood silently for years, a towering warning few people believed could ever become reality. To nearby communities, the enormous vessel appeared unnecessary because no disaster yet existed on Earth. Yet every beam, chamber, and support structure had been designed for conditions nobody had witnessed. Then came another challenge, often overlooked when discussing the Ark's extraordinary engineering and survival mission. The vessel required an organized system capable of housing countless creatures without descending into chaos. Every species needed sufficient space, ventilation, and access to resources throughout the coming months ahead. This logistical challenge alone would rival some of the most ambitious operations in ancient history. Food reserves had to be calculated carefully because resupply would become impossible once sealed inside. Water management presented another hidden obstacle, requiring practical solutions before the flood ever started. The deeper we examine the project, the less it resembles a simple wooden boat. Instead, it begins to resemble a self-sustaining survival structure built for complete isolation. Then, an extraordinary moment arrived that transformed preparation into the beginning of a historic event. Animals began appearing from distant regions, creating a scene unlike anything previously witnessed anywhere. Creatures large and small moved steadily toward the vessel as preparation entered its final stage. The gathering itself would have appeared impossible to observers watching events unfold before their eyes. Every arriving creature increased the urgency of a warning most people still chose to ignore. Inside the vessel, designated areas gradually filled as preparations reached their most critical phase. What happened next remains one of the most dramatic turning points in biblical history. The massive door represented both protection for some and separation for everyone remaining outside afterward. Once sealed, the vessel became an isolated world floating between survival and destruction itself. Then came a period of silence that must have tested every expectation inside the vessel. Days passed without visible catastrophe, creating uncertainty before the first signs finally appeared unexpectedly. The first drops seemed insignificant, yet they marked the beginning of a world-changing disaster. Rain intensified steadily until familiar landscapes began disappearing beneath rising and unstoppable waters completely. The engineering principles hidden within the Ark would soon face their ultimate practical examination. As water levels climbed, the vessel responded exactly as its proportions had intended from beginning. The enormous structure remained stable despite forces that would overwhelm poorly designed alternatives immediately. Far below, familiar landmarks vanished beneath waters covering regions once filled with life. The Ark had become exactly what its design intended: humanity's last refuge against extinction. Yet surviving the initial flood was only the beginning of an even greater challenge. Weeks turned into months as the vessel drifted across a transformed and unfamiliar world. Inside, life continued according to systems established long before the catastrophe ever began. Storage planning, ventilation, and structural stability now proved essential for continued survival every day. The Ark was no longer simply a construction project, but a functioning survival ecosystem. Every decision made during construction now revealed its importance under conditions impossible to predict fully. What seemed excessive during construction increasingly appeared necessary as the months continued passing slowly. The flood had tested the Ark's design, but another challenge was already approaching unexpectedly.
Soon, signs would appear suggesting the waters were finally beginning to retreat at last. The next stage of Noah's journey would reveal whether humanity could begin again successfully. A new world awaited beyond the flood, and the Ark's greatest purpose was almost fulfilled. After months upon endless waters, a subtle change appeared that suggested the flood was finally losing strength. For the first time, distant peaks emerged above the surface, signaling that a new chapter approached. Yet Noah could not simply leave because the surrounding landscape remained dangerous and unstable everywhere. Patience became essential as the family waited for unmistakable signs that conditions were improving. Then Noah conducted a simple test that became one of the most famous moments recorded. A raven was released first, searching the changing world beyond the vessel's protective walls. The bird traveled across flooded regions, offering clues about conditions outside the Ark's safety. Later, Noah released a dove, whose journey would reveal something far more encouraging ahead. At first, the dove found nowhere suitable to rest and eventually returned safely. The result showed that despite progress, much of the world remained submerged beneath water. Days later, Noah repeated the test, hoping conditions had changed since the previous attempt. This time, the bird returned carrying a sign that transformed uncertainty into cautious optimism. A single olive leaf revealed that vegetation was beginning to recover across the earth. The floodwaters were retreating, and life was quietly returning to regions once overwhelmed completely. Even then, Noah waited, demonstrating a discipline often overlooked within the larger narrative itself. The temptation to leave early would have been enormous after so many confined months. Yet survival depended not only on preparation, but also on waiting for the right moment. Eventually, another dove release brought the clearest sign that the waiting period was ending. This time, the bird did not return, confirming that suitable habitats now existed again. What happened next marked the completion of one of humanity's greatest survival stories ever. The command finally came to leave the Ark and step into a renewed world. After more than a year, the enormous vessel had fulfilled its intended purpose completely. Animals emerged into unfamiliar terrain, becoming the first inhabitants of a restored Earth afterward. The landscape they encountered was different from anything remembered before the catastrophe occurred. Generations later, people would remember the flood, but the Ark itself remained the true marvel. Its engineering succeeded under conditions impossible for any builder to test beforehand practically. The dimensions recorded in Genesis proved capable of supporting survival through unimaginable circumstances successfully. What began as an act of obedience ultimately became one of history's greatest engineering achievements.
Yet one final mystery remains hidden within the story that continues generating debate today. Could ancient builders truly execute such a project using only the resources available then? The scale alone challenges assumptions about what prehistoric societies could organize and accomplish. Some researchers focus on logistics, while others study the vessel's remarkable stability characteristics closely. The conversation continues because the Ark occupies a unique space between history, faith, and engineering. Regardless of perspective, the story demonstrates how preparation can determine survival when crisis finally arrives. The Ark was more than a vessel. It was a lesson preserved across generations forever. And the deeper we examine its design, the more extraordinary its story becomes today. The evidence leaves us with questions that continue fascinating historians, engineers, and believers across the world. What appeared impossible became reality, reshaping the future of humanity after the flood. The story of the Ark endures because it combines mystery, survival, engineering, and faith into one narrative. Long after the flood, one question continued echoing through history. Where did all that water actually go? The biblical account describes a world transformed by forces powerful enough to reshape entire regions permanently. Some researchers suggest the flood altered landscapes so dramatically that familiar features disappeared forever afterward. If true, Noah emerged into a world far different from the one he originally knew. The challenge ahead was no longer survival aboard the Ark, but rebuilding life from the beginning. Every animal released carried the future of its kind into a recovering environment below. The Ark itself had completed its mission, yet its design remained a mystery worth studying. Modern engineers examining its proportions discovered something unexpected hidden within the ancient dimensions recorded. Its length-to-width ratio closely resembles designs considered stable even by contemporary maritime standards today. That discovery sparked renewed interest in understanding whether the vessel could truly function effectively. Scale models tested under extreme conditions often demonstrated impressive resilience against powerful wave forces. The results surprised observers who expected a structure of that size to fail. Instead, the vessel's proportions appeared optimized for flotation and stability rather than navigation speed. This reveals an important lesson hidden beneath the story's dramatic surface and lasting appeal. The Ark was never designed to travel somewhere specific. It was built to endure. That distinction explains many design choices that seem unusual when viewed through modern assumptions. Another fascinating question involves the workforce required to complete such an enormous project. Could one family alone have constructed the Ark, or was outside assistance involved? The biblical text remains silent on many practical details, leaving room for interpretation. Yet the sheer volume of materials suggests a highly organized operation lasting many years. Such coordination would have required planning, leadership, logistics, and extraordinary persistence from everyone involved. Then comes one of the most overlooked achievements hidden within the entire narrative. The Ark functioned as a complete ecosystem capable of supporting life for extended periods. Food, water, airflow, waste management, and structural integrity all required practical solutions simultaneously. Few ancient construction projects combined so many challenges within a single structure before.
That complexity helps explain why the story continues attracting attention across generations worldwide today. For some, the Ark represents faith. For others, it represents remarkable ancient engineering. Many see both elements intertwined, creating a narrative that refuses to be forgotten. The deeper researchers investigate, the more intriguing questions emerge from the ancient account. Why were these specific dimensions chosen instead of countless other possible configurations available? How did the structure withstand months of relentless motion across turbulent floodwaters successfully?
What construction techniques allowed such a massive wooden vessel to remain intact throughout? Each answer seems to reveal another mystery hidden deeper within the story itself.
Perhaps that explains why the Ark remains one of history's most discussed structures ever. Its legacy extends far beyond the flood, into questions about preparation and resilience. When crisis eventually arrived, survival depended upon work completed long before danger appeared.
That lesson may be the most enduring message hidden within the Ark's design. And the story still has one final revelation waiting beyond the engineering itself. The Ark remains a timeless symbol of endurance when preparation meets an unprecedented challenge. Its story continues inspiring new generations to explore the mysteries hidden within ancient history. Even today, the search for traces of Noah's Ark continues across remote mountains and harsh landscapes. For centuries, explorers have reported discoveries that reignited debates surrounding the vessel's possible resting place. Many accounts point toward towering peaks where difficult terrain has preserved countless historical mysteries. Among these locations, one mountain appears more frequently than any other in discussions. Its imposing summit has inspired generations of researchers hoping to uncover physical evidence. Yet the higher investigators climb, the more difficult certainty becomes in extreme conditions. Snow, ice, earthquakes, and time have altered these regions repeatedly throughout history itself. As a result, separating evidence from speculation remains one of archaeology's greatest challenges. Some discoveries initially appeared promising before later analysis produced more cautious conclusions afterward. That uncertainty has only increased public fascination surrounding the mystery over the decades. Few biblical stories inspire such a powerful combination of faith, history, and investigation. Yet another question emerges when examining the Ark beyond its physical construction alone. Why has this narrative remained relevant across thousands of years and countless cultures? Part of the answer lies within a universal theme shared by every generation. The story centers on preparation before a crisis that most people never expected. Again and again, history reveals how unprepared societies struggle when unexpected events arrive. The Ark represents resilience built long before the first sign of danger appears. That principle extends far beyond ancient history into challenges people still face today. The narrative also highlights leadership during moments when confidence becomes increasingly difficult to maintain. Few individuals continue pursuing a difficult mission when surrounded by doubt and criticism. Yet perseverance transformed what appeared impossible into one of history's most enduring accounts. Another remarkable aspect involves the story's scale compared to most ancient narratives. Entire ecosystems, animal populations, and future generations depended upon the project's success. Few construction efforts in history
carried consequences reaching so far beyond their own era.
That perspective helps explain why the Ark remains such a powerful symbol worldwide. The vessel embodied protection, endurance, preparation, and hope during overwhelming uncertainty and fear. Even skeptics often acknowledge the narrative's extraordinary influence across literature and culture. Its themes continue appearing in films, books, research projects, and public imagination today. Perhaps the greatest mystery is not where the Ark rested, but why it endures.
Stories survive when they speak to fears and hopes shared across generations universally. The Ark's journey captures both uncertainty and the possibility of survival against impossible odds. That combination continues attracting believers, historians, engineers, and curious minds around the world. Every generation revisits the story and discovers new meanings hidden beneath its surface. And perhaps that is why the mystery remains alive after thousands of years. The deeper we investigate, the more the Ark reveals lessons extending beyond history itself.
Its story continues because preparation, endurance, and hope remain timeless human necessities everywhere. Yet one final chapter remains before the full significance of Noah's Ark becomes clear. The Ark became more than history. It transformed into a symbol recognized across civilizations worldwide. Its legacy survives because the questions it raises remain as relevant as ever today. And the final lesson hidden within the Ark may be its most powerful revelation.
After exploring every stage of construction, one final question remains larger than all the others. Why has Noah's Ark continued captivating humanity when countless ancient structures have faded away? Part of the answer may lie beyond engineering, archaeology, and historical investigation entirely. The Ark tells a story about preparing for a future nobody else could see. Every beam placed represented confidence in something not yet visible to surrounding communities.
That challenge remains familiar because uncertainty continues shaping decisions in every generation today. The Ark became a symbol of preparation before evidence convinced everyone else around them. Its builders acted long before circumstances forced action upon the world around them. When the flood arrived, preparation separated survival from catastrophe in a dramatic way. That lesson alone helps explain why the story still resonates after thousands of years. Yet, another layer emerges when examining the vessel as an engineering achievement itself. The dimensions described in Genesis continue surprising researchers who analyze stability and flotation. What once appeared impossible often becomes more intriguing the deeper the investigation proceeds. Each discovery answers one question while simultaneously creating several new mysteries afterward. That pattern has sustained fascination with the Ark across centuries of discussion worldwide. The story survives because it operates on multiple levels at the same time. It is a survival narrative, an engineering mystery, and a historical puzzle simultaneously. Few ancient accounts combine so many compelling themes within a single narrative framework. Even people who disagree about details often remain captivated by the larger story. That broad appeal helps explain why interest continues growing instead of disappearing completely. Generation after generation returns to the same questions, seeking answers and deeper understanding.
Some search for physical evidence, while others focus on the lessons hidden underneath.
Both approaches reveal why the narrative continues inspiring investigation and reflection today. The Ark ultimately represents endurance when circumstances become larger than human control. Its survival depended upon decisions made long before danger became impossible to ignore. That principle continues applying to challenges far removed from the ancient flood account. Preparation often appears unnecessary until the moment it becomes absolutely essential for survival.
The Ark reminds us that resilience begins long before crisis reaches its peak. Perhaps that enduring message explains why the story remains relevant across every century. The vessel itself may belong to ancient history, but its lessons remain surprisingly current. And so the mystery of Noah's Ark continues, inviting exploration from every perspective. Whether viewed through faith, history, or engineering, its significance refuses to disappear. The deeper we look, the more remarkable the story becomes with every discovery. Its dimensions reveal engineering, its survival reveals preparation, and its legacy reveals meaning. What began as a construction project became one of humanity's most enduring narratives ever. Across thousands of years, the vessel continues sailing through imagination, research, and belief. And that may be the greatest mystery of all, hidden within Noah's Ark. The story ends, but the questions it inspires will continue for generations ahead.
Its message remains timeless because preparation, resilience, and hope never lose relevance. Long after the flood, Noah's Ark continues challenging humanity to think beyond the visible. May God abundantly bless your life. If this reflection edified you, please like, subscribe to the channel, and share in the comments the city where you are watching from. And if the hyper button appears for you, consider supporting this work. Your contribution helps us continue proclaiming the Word of God and reaching lives for Christ every day. And remember, God loves you.